What an overwhelming response. Thank you guys so much for all the questions. We were going to choose 5, but there were just a lot of good questions, so we picked 7 today. And since I didn't have time to get to all of you today, here's what I've decided to do. Every week, I'm going to do 5 or 7 questions for the entire month, alright? So keep submitting your questions. The first one comes from Adair Bartley. Ooh, your question is about horns. Looks like you like horror flicks. My question for Mitchell is, how did you feel and what did you do when you got the part as young Ich Perish in horns? That's a good question because, of course, when I read for it, I knew that Daniel Radcliffe was going to be Ich Perish, so I was like fangirling inside. But I was calm and collected. When I found out, I was super excited though. That's when I let my fangirl out, you know? When I found out, I kind of just jumped around my house and like told my mom. I was like, I couldn't tell my friends, right? But I wanted to, so I said, oh my gosh, no way, guess what I just did? And they'd be like, what? And I was like, oh, that's right, I can't tell you. Never mind. And I'd leave them hanging. I'm a bad friend that way. The next question comes from Margaret Montgomery Harrell. Ooh, a Hardy. Way to go, Hardys. Nice. I would like to know if you could work with any actor or actress you wanted, who would it be and why? For this one, I'm going to say actress because the next one is kind of the same person. So I'm going to put actor for the next one and actress for this one. So actress would probably either be Angelina Jolie or Meryl Streep because they are both such wonderful people and amazing actresses. And I just, you know, I love them both so much. I would love to work with them and I could learn so much from them, you know? Yeah. The next question comes from Vicky French. By the way, Vicky, thanks for participating in my birthday video. It says, hi Mitchell, hope you're doing well. Was just wondering at what age did you feel the desire to go into acting? And were there some role models that influenced you? Well, I wanted to get into acting at around age 8. And yes, there was a role model, and anyone that knows me knows that I am a gigantic Jackie Chan fan. Because I like martial arts and I like acting, so when I was a kid, I missed out on like watching all of the classics. Like I've never seen Lion King, right? Because I was too busy watching all the Jackie Chan movies. And he's the reason I became an actor too. But yeah, he definitely influenced me when I was 8. And still does. The next question comes from Kylie Nicole. What's one thing that no one knows about you? Well, this is going to be a little bit weird, but I am double jointed in my feet and I'll show you why. I can clap. I do this at concerts. No, I'm just kidding. I don't do it at concerts. Okay. The next one comes from Parker. Ooh, a Winnipeg boy. If you couldn't act, what other career would you pursue? That's a good question. I love science. Don't like math, but I love science. And I'm good at science, and my favorite type of science is physics. But I'm terrible at math and good at physics. I know, it doesn't really make sense, but my brain works in mysterious ways. So I think I would go into quantum physics, because that's something that interests me, and that's what I would do if I couldn't pursue acting as a career. This next one comes from Janet Stevens at JanetMSU. This is a good question. Oh, she's another Hardy and a tie-hard. Nice. Thanks for watching both shows, by the way. If Gabe Montgomery and Jeff McClane got into a fight, who would win? Oh, that's a really hard question. I personally, and a lot of people disagree with me, think Jeff McClane would win in the fight. Because Jeff, yes, he's a nice guy, but he's got this fire. You know, Gabe has a fire too, but Gabe's fire is always out. You know, he's storming out, he's constantly angry. Jeff's fire only gets sparked when it needs to be. And that is what is going to make him win the fight. The fact that he can keep that fire persistently. And Jeff has this attitude where if he thinks something's right or something needs to be done, he won't stop. Well then again, so does Gabe. I don't know, I just think Jeff would win in a fight. That's just me. speaking of Jeff, this next one comes from Jeff Whitehurst. When filming a scene, how is the audio so clear? Are there microphones hooked up to actors, or is there studio voice recording? That is such a good question. Sound often gets forgotten a lot. There's both. I mean, there's a giant mic, which of course is called the boom. So there's a boom operator and a sound mixer with a board, right? And then there's actors that get mic'd. So let's say there's like 7 different actors, right? 5 of the main guys would get, or gals, would get mic'd, and the other 2 would just be on boom sound, right? But if there's something in the background, like I remember one time we were filming something and there was a gun range in the background, and so after every line was just pow, 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 right? And that was annoying, but there was nothing we could do about it at the time. So there's something called ADR, which is you go to a studio, you put on headphones, the network or the production company, I'm not really sure, gives you lines, and it's for clarity, or if they change something, like if they're like, oh, you said, I don't know, you said chimpanzee and we meant for you to say orangutan, then they'll change it up and you'll go to ADR and do that. But ADR is kind of inevitable. Like every TV show, every movie is going to have ADR for it, and that is really fun because you actually, when you go for ADR, you have to sync it to the video, right? So the way that works is you actually get to see the edited clips that you're doing, which is really cool because you're like, hey, I shot that, and I get to see it. But they have 2 methods for that. They have the beep method, which is when you put on the headphones, it goes beep, 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 and at the 3rd beep, you say your line to try and sync it with your mouth on the screen. Or there's the white method, which I kind of prefer wipe, not white. Well, I guess it could be both. It's a white line that goes across the screen. There's a white line that moves and a white line that stays still, okay? So the white line moves across the screen, and when the 2 lines meet up, that's when you say your line, right? And I kind of prefer that one because there's not just this annoying beeping in my ear, you know? I don't feel like I have to open the microwave. Yeah. So now I'm going to pick the winner, and this is a very hard decision. But the winner is Kylie. Kylie, send your email to me via Twitter direct message or to @simply_mk, and we'll discuss it there. Thank you guys so much for your questions, and keep submitting them. I'm going to keep doing these. Thank you.